Donald Trump says he will absolutely denaturalize immigrants convicted of crimes if he has the power. Well, the reality is he actually does. It's kind of strange because it does mean that you're a second-class citizen if you move here and then get citizenship later. I had an interesting conversation with Cenk Uygur a few years ago because he wanted to run for president, but he was born in Turkey. And he said, that's not fair. That violates the 14th Amendment. I think he was saying 14th, because I am an American citizen. That means I should have all of the rights of any American. He makes an interesting point. However, there is the power within the State Department to denaturalize. That means someone comes here, becomes a citizen, and if we find out that they fraudulently became a citizen, we can strip them of that citizenship. But that makes sense, right? You only got the citizenship through fraud, so therefore we void your citizenship. Thus, Donald Trump does have the power to do it, and he says he wants to. I got to be honest. Good. It's so crazy that that's considered right-wing. It's so stupid about modern politics. We have laws for a reason. And it seems right now left and right is largely divided by, do you like the country and think we should have functions that make the country exist? Okay, if someone comes here and then marries, I don't know, it's hypothetically, marries their brother so their brother can get a visa to come to the United States, that's immigration fraud. And they should be denaturalized for that fraud of our immigration system. Now, this is where it gets more nuanced. The issue being, it's obvious to everybody. If someone comes here from whatever country and says, I'm going to be an American citizen, and here's my information. Then we find out their info is wrong. We say, fraudulently obtained, void, go home. But what if someone comes here legally and appropriately, becomes a citizen, and then uses that citizenship to defraud the system for other people? I believe you are engaged in immigration fraud, and I believe this extends beyond the circumstances of your own paperwork. That is to say, your purpose for getting citizenship was to defraud the system after the fact, denaturalize, and deport. Trump can do it, and he should. Here's a story from Mediaite. They say President Trump said that he would absolutely denaturalize immigrants who have committed crimes, telling reporters on Sunday night that, quote, if I have the power to do it, I would denaturalize. The president spoke to the press aboard Air Force One on his way back to Washington Sunday night, answering questions surrounding his recent actions on immigration, among other topics. Mr. President, you said that you might denaturalize some American citizens. Can you talk about that? Asked a reporter. He said, you mean people that are here, that are in here that shouldn't be in here? Reporter says that became Americans. Are you trying to revoke their citizenship? Trump said, well, we'll see. I mean, yeah, if we have criminals that came into our country, they were naturalized maybe through Biden or somebody that didn't know what they were doing. If I have the power to do it, I would denaturalize absolutely. The president was then asked to clarify the meaning of reverse migration. Quote, it means get people out that are in our country, get them out of here. I want to get them out. We got a lot of people in our country that shouldn't be here, and they came in through Biden, and he was the worst president in the history of our country. But the single biggest thing he did was allow millions of people into our country that shouldn't be here. Trump referenced the recent shooting of 2 National Guard members, one fatally by a suspected Afghan national. The event sparked the president's recent push for denaturalization. Quote, you take a look at the people that were allowed to come into our country. We're paying a big price for it and will for years to come, including the recent killer of 2 wonderful National Guards people, said Trump. And I'll tell you what, that animal should not have been allowed to come into our country. Now, I do have an update in this regard. The young woman did pass, and it is nightmarish. A horrifying tragedy. This poor father, my heart goes out to you. I am so saddened by this. And this is what we fight for every day. We fight so that your children, I'm going to say it as crudely as I can, you will die before your kids. That you will, on your deathbed, smile at your children holding your hands, knowing that they will carry on and you've done your best. And it is so sad. This young woman, this brave young woman, joined the West Virginia National Guard, served this country, and had this horrifying thing. Now, I do have an update on the young man. It sounds like he's going to make it. You know, I'll tell you this, guys. These two National Guards members, they're locals for us here in West Virginia. We're in the Eastern Panhandle, and it's actually, I get very emotional on this because it is horrifying. I was talking about this the other, over the break when this happened. There's a restaurant at the Martinsburg Airport. It's a regional airport, and it's connected to the West Virginia Air Guard base, and we can see the great big jets. Really amazing to see. And we go eat there because they actually have really great breakfast. It's kind of amazing. You know, my wife and I were like, to be honest, if you want a good breakfast, like they got it's like a real sausage. Now, I don't mean like links and patties. I mean like the patties are clearly real farm fresh sausage, and it's, ill-shapen and all the good stuff. We go there and we can see these Guard members there with their families. And it's cool. It's an honor. And, the photo of this young man was, I believe, at the Air Guard base. And it's crazy to think that something so tragic could happen so close to home. But the reality is all of these stories hit someone close to home. That's why I want a future where, our brave men and women who don't die in their own backyards. These brave men and women drove an hour. Okay, this is the hour and a half to be in D.C., to be on patrol, to keep our streets safe because of monsters like this guy. And this young woman loses her life. And the Democrats had the worst message in the world saying, well, if they weren't on patrol, it wouldn't have happened. What? If y'all didn't bring terrorist psychopaths into our country, it wouldn't have happened. This is why Trump is right, and you got to get him out. It was initially reported they both died, but, I had a man come up to me the other day who thanked me for the videos that I made about it. Look, man, I'm just some dude who complains on the internet, but he told me the good news is that, God willing, they think he's going to make it. And, Trump has invited their families to the White House. So, it's a tragic story, and it would never have happened if this guy didn't come into this country. Why did we bring him in? Why do we bring these people in? We have traditions, we have values, we are a people, and it's sad to see all of this happening. If this guy was not brought in, if he was vetted properly, these Democrat policies, it just keeps happening. The crazy thing is, Republican policies that Democrats complain about, what is it? They complain that rich people are keeping too much of their own money. And I'm like, I kind of agree, I guess. It's not the most pressing thing to me. Steve Bannon talks about taxing the rich, they're ripping us off. And I'm like, I hear you, brother. Very Occupy of you, Steve. I agree. And they talk about minority issues, and I'm like, look, man, I'm concerned about the working class and paying the bills. What are they fighting for? I can talk about Democrat policies, letting criminals out of jail, a young woman being drenched in gasoline in Chicago and then immolated. Their policies of releasing criminals have made things worse. Their policies, their tax policies have made it harder to run a business. And what do the Republicans do? They're not resisting Democrat policies. They're just going, oh, slow down there. And what do you get? I got to be honest. What are Republican policies getting you? Pro-lifers? Well, in the local level, you got abortion bans. But what are the federal level Republicans even doing? I couldn't tell you. I had a conversation with me ma a few years ago. She was like, why are you always ragging on Democrats? And I'm like, because Democrats do things. Like, let's be real. I can rag on Republicans for doing nothing. But what is it? pH neutral, okay? Like, Republicans suck because they do nothing. Democrats suck because they do bad things. So if I look at two people and Democrat do bad thing, Republican done nothing, I can be like, man, that guy's a lazy PO. He didn't do anything. That person's burning the house down. Case in point, this story. I say Trump, denaturalize, deport, get it done. The big news, of course, he's pausing all asylum applications and visas for Afghans. Listen, I think there are people in Afghanistan who served this country when we were there. I don't think we should have been there. I think you vet some of these people, we owe them. Because we leave behind the people who worked with us, who fought for whatever our vision was supposed to be. I don't know. They sacrificed a lot for us. Loyalty matters. But the idea that we're going to bring in anybody without Vetting them is absolutely ridiculous. A small West Virginia town brought even closer through grief. In Webster Springs, everyone knows one another. When National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom was killed, that connection was further strengthened. I don't know if you guys saw the post from her dad. Lord help us, man. The things I would do if that was my child. I don't know if I should reveal the private details. I may have told the story publicly, but I don't know if I should reveal private details of any prominent personalities. But I was hanging out with a prominent personality. I'll just put it like that. And we were talking about the riots in Ferguson, Michael Brown being killed, whether it was just or unjust. And he said, I don't care. You kill my son, I'll make the whole world pay. Yikes. This is a man of means and capability. And I said, I believe him. I believe him. What a horrifying story. What will we do? What will we do in America to protect what matters to us most? To make sure that our young people have an opportunity, that our country stands strong? This young Gen Z woman, the best example of Gen Z. Life taken from her because of these ridiculous Biden policies. I'm so angry. I hope you are too. We fight for a better future where you open your front door and your young kids, not too young, but your kids, you say, come back when the lights turn on. A high trust society where you can leave your bike in your front yard. No one's going to take it. You know what's funny? There's still a remnant of this. It's mountaintop skiing. You ever go skiing? For those that haven't, skiing or snowboarding, you take your skis off and your snowboard because you got to go to the bathroom or you want to eat a cheeseburger, whatever you got to do, and you just put them outside and you walk away, and you come back and there they are. Nobody took them. It's amazing. There was a funny video where it was I think it was like a black dude being like, man, look at this. He's like, white people just leave. These are thousands of dollars in equipment. There's no cameras anywhere. Literally, anybody can walk up and just grab. You could accidentally grab someone's skis or snowboard. He thought it was funny because you don't have that in the cities. There was another video where it was a bunch of black dudes were grabbing a bunch of ski equipment and just leaving with it. And that's the issue of low trust society. I'm not making this a race thing. That was what the video was. You talk about whatever you want to talk about. YouTube will probably reduce visibility on this video for me having said it. But that's the harsh reality of low trust society. Locking up the deodorant at Walgreens. I was at a CVS. I can't remember where I was. It was like Texas or something. And was it Nashville maybe? And I was like, I'm going to grab a little self-serving ice cream. I went to the ice cream freezer. It was locked. I was like, are you kidding me? If I want ice cream, I have to ask an employee to cut. Jeez, dude. That's insane. It's time to bring back high trust society, my friends. We got to do what we got to do. I'm going to leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show. Stay tuned. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. We'll see you all in the next segment.